And welcome back, everybody, to Canadian Disc Golf production of the Spring at Winter Open at Winter Farms Disc Golf Course in Brantford, Ontario. Brought to you by Covered by J Pool and Spa Solutions. I'm Patrick McCauley, and I'm here with...
Here's Brownie.
And we are going to deliver you the Winding Woods portion of the course for round 2. We saw the long bomber up at the first 18. Now we're going into the back half of this 36-hole championship course. Diameter Apparel, Grip and Rip, Disc Golf Days also sponsors, and our leader, Chris Ozolins.
Nice shades.
Taking the shades off to go into the woods.
Off
Quite
a
fitting.
1041 rated round. Next we have Cam Zanini still flipping the hair.
Chasing 5 back.
And Jake Voskamp out of Peterborough, I believe. And then Jimmy D coming back up. Oh, that is something else.
What are you seeing? Seeing me. Hole 1 or hole 19 as it's known in the course?
Yes. Yeah. So they do consecutive 36 holes, but for our sake, we're going to call it hole 1. Again, cornfield, not here at this point in time, but it would be OB left and OB right. It is not 341 feet. It is 390 feet from the lawns. The tee signs are a little bit off. You'll notice that a few times, but either way, you can pretty much figure out how it's going to go.
It's a full rip either way. Yeah, the first iteration of the course is the measurements you see today, so just disregard many of those. A bit of a soft area to land in if you can push it all the way to collect the disc and hopefully not skip into the OB area. The short mistake is leaving it left into that cornfield.
Yeah, you can pretty much just throw a straight disc, get your 3. Oh, that is turned over.
Oz turns early, and that's going to be out in the marsh.
Mm-hmm. So probably up near that tall tree there, you can see that is probably the one mistake you can't do on this hole. If you leak out a little early, left, sort of like Cam is looking right here, maybe.
You got to get over the corner, and there is a clearing up to the left.
Yeah, he's probably inbounds where he is, but it'll be close. It's definitely more left than he wanted. Here's Jake. I think first time seeing him on coverage here, but he can absolutely throw a big bomb.
Great shot. That probably fought back in, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it looked like it was good, but it was, again, very close to the OB line. On the right, probably, if he's inbounds, he's 40 feet putting for a 2, which is great on this hole.
And James rocking his Team Birdie jersey.
Both Cam and James are sponsored by Team Birdie.
And that gets pushed down early, so he's going to have a lot left. He's just going to have to get up and down now.
But he's inbound, so realistically, this is fine. As long as he can get up and down and not have any more damage, and that is high.
Really high. He sends it for a ride.
No.
He'll have to make a putt now.
Yeah, still inbounds though, and it looks like this is where they gave Oz for his inbounds.
Almost, and that's deep in. He'll be maybe a little encumbered for that putt.
You can see the OB line just to the left of Cam's foot there, that blue line. He just nicked it.
Going for a throw in there.
It's tough to say if he was inbounds here or not. He definitely kept it close. I think he can. Almost puts it in. And then he'll be, I think he was inbounds, so he'll be tapping in his 3. This will be a huge par save for James. 2 errant throws in a row. And he doesn't do it, so he'll be settling for 4.
This hole got the best of many, either if you were in the marsh or making the short airs like Duong did. 0.79 above par. I was going to be collecting a Vogue. And
yes, the OB.
Yeah.
There's James.
Everyone coming out of the bushes here.
Stick your slippery fingers there.
Well, all in all, there was, as Jake puts out, 1 birdie on the day. And who got that birdie?
Oh, who would that be?
That's Chris Brown. Well done. How did you do it?
I just threw really far and made the putt.
Landed in a good spot. It is simple if you get it, but only one of you were able to do it.
You just got lucky with the turn and the fade. Got back at the right time.
Here, now we're heading really far uphill.
this hole, there's so much in me that just wants to go for it and try to push it up as far up the hill as you can. But with OB left and then a tree line right that's not OB but will cause you problems, it's just not feasible. So you'll see a lot of forehand plays sort of up to this first mound that we're flying over right now. Or maybe, maybe not even that far. And then a layup there for your easy birdie.
So this is like mid-range.
If you're going forehand, territory? Probably like something overstable fairway.
Yeah.
If you're going, if you're going backhand, probably mid-range putter kind of idea. I think everyone on this card has a very proficient forehand. I don't know too much about Jake's forehand. I know he throws backhands really far. And it looks like he throws forehands really far too.
Yeah, no problem with that. Right up just before the mound, as you said. It's a good safe spot to be.
I think it would be really good to get up on top of that mound, just so you have flat ground for your next throw, but that's asking a lot.
Oz gets a favorable bounce to stay out of the bushes.
What a skip. It's an Oz luck right there. That's fantastic.
And Cam, he's looking for the same luck. Doesn't quite get it.
It's not OB, so he'll be able to get out of there, but he will have some trouble.
Yeah, he's going to have some branches in his way for the next shot. And James gets a nice flight out of that.
Indeed. Those are all in routine, great spots. I think on my first round, during this round, every single person in my card put it to a point where you couldn't see it. And it blew my mind that people were going that far.
They're looking for the easy birdie.
Yeah.
And that is going to be an easy birdie for Mr. Zanini.
It's tough. Once you get up there, the basket's farther back from the top of that hill than you would think. So if you leave it a little short, you might think you're good and walk up to a 25-footer.
That's right, and Jake switching discs. Looks like he made the right choice, whatever it was.
So this would be the same day as our first round in the from the Lawn Bomber. So these guys are playing on their 20th hole of the day. So you might see some exhaustion come through near the end.
That's right. So the first few holes open on the Winding Woods course before we head into the woods. And this will be the last of them right here.
Mm-hmm. The Winding Woods are very wooded. If you thought the Lawn Bomber course is open, and this will definitely bring you back to what you think disc golf is. That's going to be a long putt. Oh, I really thought that was going to be a long putt for James, but that's right there.
Couple stock shots and some tap-in birdies coming up here on the lead card. As we head into one of the most unique holes I've seen coming up next, hole 3. Really interesting layout.
It's just a minute now.
Hole 19 was our hardest hole on the day. And hole 20
most
might
expensive
be one of our
mini in
easiest.
existence.
Yeah, we have over half the field birdieing hole 2 with those, probably similar stock shot, birdie. 0.42 under par.
Yeah, so definitely the easiest hole on the course. As you can see, it's just 2 layups. Gets you your 3, which is your birdie. Hole 3, you have to go, excuse me, right at the Canada flag is a Mando in which you need to go left. So you can't just throw it into the trees here and work your way there. You have to go left of that tree, down the gap, all the way to the basket. It's about 360 feet to get it to the Mando. So the optimal play is just a hyzer layup right in front of the Mando, and then you can pitch down this very tight gap.
If you miss the Mando, the flags are right there to our left for the drop zone.
Indeed.
And then it is a very tight, panning, left to right shot to enter the green. This hole is twoable.
It is twoable, especially without the corn. With the corn there, you kind of lose all your angle. With no corn being there, you could just throw either a turnover down the gap or you could throw a big forehand. But be curious to see if anyone tries that on this because it's Jerome's having a little trouble there.
Well, welcome to the Winding Woods.
Exactly. So as you see, no corn. You can clearly see the Mando flag there. Probably just a stock hyzer right to the mouth. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that is.
You just want it to sit down so it doesn't take away your angle. So Jake's going to be a little bit further to the left.
Oh,
than
he was
wants,
actually OB according to the
but-
spotter.
Oh, he's short.
Yeah, so we're curious where they're going to spot him if he never came back in bounds, because the corn does jut quite right.
Yeah, that could be a very long shot if he's right at
Yeah.
the edge.
That is the one mistake you can't do. Is Oz is going for the gap? Yeah, that looked more like a layup actually. He wasn't going
Yeah.
for it.
You just don't want to juice it too much to push past, because going long into those trees cuts off your chances for that birdie.
I think this looks OB too. Yeah, that's
Yep.
another OB. It's what you can't do. You're better off missing the Mando than going OB early.
Yeah, because you can just proceed to the drop zone and have a straight shot. You can
easily
save
save your
birdie
Yeah, you
even.
could. This is also a par 5 according to this. I think it's more of a par 4. You could, as I said, it is twoable, so you easily could lay up to the Mando flag, pitch down, and take a putt for your eagle, which
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh,
He
good.
makes the
He
Mando.
does get around.
I wonder how far down that went.
I feel like that probably spit back out onto the trail too, so we'll see. And Cam does not get the angle.
And he hits the chair too. Oh, he misses the Mando. That's gonna be a big number for Cam because he already went OB once.
Keeping Terry off his seat there, making him be honest. And a little worm burner there.
I'm really surprised about how they're playing this. This is quite simple of a hyzer to the Mando and then chip down. So I don't know if it's just early in the round or we're just trying to figure things out. But
Yeah, bit of a shaky start.
this is the Mando that Cam is throwing from for
Up here.
potentially a 5.
I think he got all the way.
That'll be drop zone to about probably circle 1. He
Yeah.
did get all the way down there, it looks like. And Oz taking the step out.
Yeah, you can see his drive got just wedged into the tree there. It's actually a really good, rather okay spot if you think
Yeah.
about it. He could easily get an eagle from here, which I understand the pars are a little bit soft, but
Oh, you fucker.
He had the tunnel over flexed it though.
yeah, that puts him in a bad spot. He on the right hand side, it's really thick getting down to the basket.
All right, here we go. The overstable roller from James, and it's going right down to the bottom of the hill.
It did, but you got to worry because there is a creek behind it, a dry creek that is OB. So hopefully it stopped in time.
Not as accurate on that roller.
Oz, after his great drive, has now thrown 2 shots to get to a long putt for his birdie, I think, right?
Oh, that was good.
That tree catches
Well-
a lot of people.
Just one lonely sapling in there, but can't make this hole too easy.
Welcome to the Winding Woods.
Yeah.
With the OB.
Jake kind of a 30% bid there. He'll be able to tap out. I mean, 2s happen on par 5s once in a blue moon. So it's not the worst thing in the world that it can happen. But saving a birdie from a drop zone is kind of iffy. I don't know about that.
You know, par doesn't matter in the end. It's all based on the field.
Yeah.
So if you want to give someone a field good eagle, go for it.
Nothing wrong with that. With the amount of hard par 3s that are on the course, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm very curious if it would change a lot of people's mindset. If more people would try to make the Mando if you turned it down to a par 4.
Yeah, the mentality that will change. The par will get the best of you, even though you know strokes count. You see that plus or minus score for sure.
There's a nice putt from Cam. Low right, not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Same,
Oz,
same from Oz with his patented mini.
The mouse on the drive.
still got it going on. Okay. Now let's see the whole card averaged. Well, definitely averaged much higher than the rest of the field. But that hole actually averaged just 0.16 over par.
Yeah, it's not
So
wrong. Yeah, it's hard to argue with the numbers
I
there.
struggled with it. It can cause you some trouble. Now we're going uphill there. Very tight tunnel. This is a difficult shot off the tee.
This is very tight, very hard. If you do hit it perfectly, you got to worry about skipping OB into the cornfield long. A lot of people play a safe forehand, just sort of hit the gap, get it up there, try to make a long 2 or save your 3. But the way to get there is a backhand for sure. Look at this tree.
Jake and Oz going for the forehands, catching an early tree was Voskamp. Oz goes for the flex, catches a tree not too far from the one Jake hit.
That's a common play. You'll see a lot of people catch early trees. Either they're making the gap or they're hitting an early tree. Those are your 2 options.
And that's the very first tree for Cam. And really nothing to see on the backhand there, eh? From the long tees.
Personally, I think it's a backhand. If you trust yourself to hit a gap, the way there is a backhand. But the forehand.
So that's how you drew it up.
Yeah. This is definitely a backhand friendly hole. The forehand is primarily for playing safe, so you can see the gap you're hitting.
None of them being able to get much further than halfway up the fairway.
Oh,
this is a scary play because if that keeps going too good,
pretty good.
It's gonna be in the cornfield.
Yeah, he gets lucky. You're almost hoping that it hits something to slow it down a bit, but
it is uphill to slow you down though.
We've got wood piles to stand behind, brush to stand within, and then a whole mess of trees to go around still.
This is a very difficult hole.
Alright, Duong has probably a fair, to say, it's a fair line despite his original shot.
Yeah, that
gets through.
Yeah, that was perfect. A little berg up shot from James there.
Compared to what everyone else is dealing with.
Yeah.
Voskamp's got Plinko ahead of him, but he gets out.
Yeah, he got really high up the hill. It looked like he was almost level with the basket, which is pretty unreal.
Good bid from Oz.
Circle's edge attempt from Cam here.
Just push down a little bit.
Looks like maybe a 20-footer for James here. James is a great putter. I expect this out of him. It does look a little windy though.
Yeah.
Yes.
No mistake though. Cuts right through the wind.
Nice putt.
Confident spin putt is what you need when it is windy. But we won't have to worry about the wind for a while, as all of the other holes for the next probably 12, I think, are completely in the woods.
Yes, indeed. Here's where the winding woods comes in. All right, hole 5. It's downhill. It's tough. You can see you have a choice of either going to the right of this main tree on your left here or to the left of it. I think the way to park it is to get a flex forehand coming down the right, all the way down, and then you have to hook even farther right to get to the basket. Realistically, if you get anywhere down near this dry riverbed down here, you're in a great spot.
Yeah, to penetrate this gap is extremely rewarding, first of all, to hit, but to even have a chance to push back up on the elevated green, it's almost a prayer. But what an incredible shot to get all the way down there, and even better to get on the green.
233 feet is definitely not accurate. It is a full throw from the forehand.
And this is not even one of the tightest tunnels on the course.
Jake catches an early tree, didn't go left or right of the tree we were talking about, and just hit it smack on.
Duong takes a very similar line.
I think he hit the same tree and kicked left instead of right.
And Oz gets by.
That looked perfect. I don't know if it hit something late, but that was the line.
Yeah, you never know. Even when you hit that initial gap, you never know what's going to happen after. But if you get to the bottom of the hill, you're laughing.
And James catches the exact same tree that the first two guys hit.
You don't quite feel as bad when everybody else is doing it, but still lots of work to go. And that is going to be right up to the bottom of the green.
That's going to be a long putt.
Dry Creek Bread is played casual here, so no OB on that. That's a nice throw. from James. Cutting right through, keeping it slightly anhyzered to skip up the rest of the way for the hill.
Wow, Jake got so far right off that tree kick. That's over near the tee pad of the previous hole. There's not a lot of routes if you want to come through there.
Oz?
Oh,
Oh, a little bit short, but he had probably the best lie of anyone off those tee shots, getting through his gap. Okay.
Jake just giving it a good healthy bid past the basket.
Now Cam, uphill, edge of circle 1 putt.
Letting us see that marvel.
Oh, just left side chains. And you're dealing with probably about 10 feet of height there from the bottom of the top.
It's a great putt from James.
Yep. You can get out of here with par. You can just focus on the next hole and choose which way you're going to go.
The 3 here is great. A 2 is definitely a bonus birdie, and not a single person in our field this day got the birdie on this, the birdie 2.
Yeah, not surprising. From the longs. From the shorts, you'll see it every now and then, but yeah.
From the longs, you have to get really lucky through all the trees, so it is what it is. Scoreboard's looking pretty much the same as we set it up as. I think potentially Cam's dropped a few strokes, but he can get him back. He's a good player. Hole 6. There's 2 routes you can take on this one. If you want to be really aggressive, you can kind of flex to the right here through that small gap, something relatively overstable, and you can get all the way up to the basket and potentially have a putt for eagle. But I think the safe play is you just throw a gentle hyzer up high left, and then you can just have a wide open fairway down to the basket.
A gentle panning fairway on the left-hand side to come in for. Well, you can definitely get in there for a birdie either way, but the super aggressive route down right. But look how narrow it is down here.
If you kick right into the stuff on the right, you are in so much trouble. You may not be able to make your way back to the fairway. So, choose your risk.
Let's see. Is there any madmen on the card willing to go for it here? I ended up, taking an alternate fairway just because of a tree kick, and you're left with the other option, but you got to take it.
I know that tree kick well. James looks like he is trying to take that skinny fairway down to the right. Hopefully he ended up in a good spot.
He didn't have quite as much a turn as he wanted, but he could plunk out back there on the trail, hopefully.
This looks like it could be an omen from Oz. So that's it's a really overstable fairway, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to the left route.
Yep. He gets by one of those twig guardian trees, and I think he's going to push up towards the top of the hill probably.
Yeah, he'll have an easy up and down 3 if he can execute, or if he got into a good spot.
Oh my
It's really
god!
wide.
You made the Mando.
Couldn't quite see where it kicked.
Honestly, Cam was going down the skinny route, but he got a great kick out to almost to the a good spot for the easy 3. But now it looks like it's on a roller.
We should have had a roller count going from the first round too.
Rollers and step out forehands are going to be your friend in the woods.
Huge flex, but I think it might have got down too quick. Didn't get to pan out.
James got himself into a pretty decent spot right here. He can just do a little flex forehand, probably with a justice. No, that's not a justice.
And he scoots around beautifully right up to the edge of the green, just past the basket. He'll be in the brush, so hopefully he has an unobstructed putt to come back for his birdie.
It's pretty tough right at the basket.
Yeah. And a jumper from Oz.
Is that where his drive landed?
That's incredible.
That's so far.
What a fantastic kick, and he's got a inside the circle 1 putt for his bird. Jake with a clear look in his Don B. Barber disc golf team jersey.
Yeah, shout out to the Don B team. Having a good time.
Just a little low. Yeah, they all took a trip down to Florida a few weeks ago, the whole team. played some MA1 and MPO tournaments.
Cam off the top. Yeah, I see
That'd be nice
James
to
put
land.
himself in a tough spot here in the bushes.
And James doing the best he could from way back in there. He went really deep.
How did he
actually.
go? It didn't seem like he was that deep on his throw.
I thought it was beside the basket.
I thought he was going to be short, but I guess he wanted it a little bit.
Yeah, this is another short, tricky par 4, and that's kind of the brand of the Winding Woods. Short, tricky par 4s. Here we go. One of the shortest holes on the course. Coming up next, though, hole 7.
Yes, hole 7 from the longs is it's really technical. It's really easy. It's really easy if you hit it, but if you don't hit it, you are going down the hills left and or right, and you are having a tricky shot just to get back to the fairway. It's probably a turnover putter, mid-range kind of thing. Some people might go forehand for the placement play and try and make a long putt. We'll have to just see.
The way a forehand of that distance and power would die at the end, I feel like the backhand turnover is a better bet because it has that slow turn at the end. A lot of those forehands, well, Oz is going forehand. A lot of those forehands can skip right back down off the fairway towards the next hole and be in real trouble. A 3, a look at it, going for a 2 could turn into a 5 on this hole straight up.
Yeah.
If it gets stuck down there on those edges.
Ooh, that is way too straight. Oh, it's turning.
Oh, it's really flippy. Nice shot by Jake.
That forehand from James. His backhand ability is so good. I'm surprised he's not trying to play the fairway.
Chop some cabbage there, but
Hard to see where he went.
Yeah.
It could be good. It could be bad.
it's really dark up there in that part of the trail. So
That's nice.
this looks better from Cam, as long as, like I said, he doesn't over dump on the right side.
So it looks like James definitely caught a tree and just fell straight down.
Yeah, very forgiving there. He's gonna have a outside look for the bird.
Maybe.
Nice shot. Just over. I thought that was going in.
That was a big putt. That would have been outside circle too, in my opinion.
Wow, he found a window. There's not much to look at when you're down here, but there is a slight window, and Jake is gonna save his par.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, that's what happens when you catch up there, though. You all the way down, and there's almost no chance to save your 2.
Oh, great opportunity for Cam, but
Did it roll away? It's hard to say. I'm assuming not if this is how close Oz is in the next putter.
yeah, that's fair to say.
So this is Oz for his 2.
This is, yeah, a birdie bid.
There it is.
Sealed
And that was with the
deal.
forehand too, so it is doable.
Yep. Can, yeah, not much of a roll away. He's able to seal it up.
Considering he hit the basket for a 2, to roll away to 25 feet is can be kind of daunting at times. I think there was only 2 2s on this round. Chris Ozolins is what you just saw, and then Mr. Frisbee himself took a 2. I kind of expected a couple more on that hole, but I can understand why it would give you some trouble.
Yeah, just the way the kicks can go and that angle is, if you don't get lucky, you're not getting it. And here we go, hole 8.
Hole 8. This one's a tricky one. It's a par 4. It is not 227 feet long, but you're kind of just trying to throw something mildly overstable flat and high. And then the problem comes is when you hyzer in, it's hard to get up this hill with enough speed to actually get inside putting circle range. So you'll probably see people going down and just hooking in and then laying up for the 3 is the birdie 3 is the probable idea here.
Just that's exactly how you drew it up. Just let the disc do its natural stability.
Par 4.
Get around that first turn, but just catching a tree.
I do think you do need to release this disc kind of flat and let it fall slowly so that it can maintain its height as it goes up the hill. Oz will be probably 40, 50 feet away, maybe a bit closer, trying to make his putt for his 2. Another hole that has a weird par, but I don't think it'd be fair making it a 3.
Okay. Yeah, that works. That's
Now,
birdie right
my thought on this would be, this is one of the rare holes that doesn't have a lot of roots in the fairway. So doing something low that could skip is an option if you want to avoid the leaves.
Oh,
That's very
that's
early.
that's not good for James. He's gonna have a lot of trouble from in there.
Starting the hole over in a worse spot.
Yeah, pretty
Love
much.
it. That's great.
Again, I still think that's too much hyzer. He's gonna be in a great spot to get his birdie, but if you want the 2, you gotta let it drift up the hill.
Let's see if he found a window at all. And wow.
There's your skip shot you wanted.
There we go. From a weird location, excellent recovery by James. He can get up and down for a par now.
Wow, Jake has a line right to the basket, it looks like. You can forehand this in.
Yep. That's going to be up there, but
Leaked away.
really faded out fast. He just needed to do some turn on that at the start.
Go in.
Dude, that was
Oh,
so.
that's
Catches the guardian tree there.
Oz, the heroic step putt.
That it seemed like it only went 30 feet, but I guarantee you gave that his full run. So
Yeah, he was right near the bottom of the hill.
yeah, so that's probably 80, 90 feet uphill, and he put himself within the circle. So he'll be looking pretty for his 3.
There. Easy birdie. You can't say no to that on this hole, as Duong lines a long one up to save the par.
Just changed out.
With that finely groomed facial hair, he's looking a bit like Joey Bats today.
The problem with this course sometimes you can get yourself into a good spot and you have no footing. You have roots and fallen trees and other loose debris that can stop you from getting the footing you want to make your putt.
Yeah, and thanks to our new rule, we cannot relocate all of the objects that we used to be able to. Left, short, and long.
Yeah. Jake comes back. I think that's for 4. It's unfortunate because he's in an okay spot off his drive. Instead of the forehand kind of got away from him. James with his errant drive still manages to take out just a bogey out of that, which is gonna hurt because you don't want to take worse than a 4 on that hole.
No, it could have been a lot worse. He stopped the bleeding there. Okay, hole 9. 370.
370 sounds accurate. It's a very tight gap off the gap. Another par 4. You can break this down into 2 throws pretty effectively, or if you want to be a hero, you can do a flex forehand that can get you all the way there. I've seen it done once or twice, but more often than not, you catch a tree halfway to 3/4 of the way down, and you're just laying up for your birdie.
Yeah, normal landing zones before these logs here for a lot of shots. They're not going to punch all the way through. Yeah, like you said, only the very lucky get down all the way, and the ones who are lucky enough to get through the gap can pan down that hill, and you're looking at the next fairway if you go down that hill all the way.
The gap is probably 150, probably 100 feet away, maybe 150 feet away. So it's a tight gap to hit at that distance for anybody.
High and panning, it does get through. Can it fight back onto the fairway? It's going to be a lucky result.
Yeah, Oz knows he got away with one there.
Yeah.
He caught some stuff early. It deflected him through the gap. He's doing all right though. You can easily get up and down for a 3 from there.
Yeah, that could have been trouble, but there's really no control in the trouble you can get in as Cam hits one of those early trees just before the gap. A good shot is just not rewarded on this hole very often.
Yeah, as long as you hit the gap, you hit the gap with any sort of anything at all, then you're looking at you for an easy 3. If you start getting too eager and start putting extra into it, then you hit a tree early and you could put 4 into play or 5 or worse.
Almost simultaneously as James hits an early tree, but he does have the lane still, and he can still. Oh, there you go. There's a little bit of plinko, but
Yeah, this is what happens on this hole if you get off early. Hitting the gap is priority number 1.
and he's still got the better of 200 feet to go.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's inside, but it is up
I
there.
think you hit the right
He'll
time.
finally be putting. Good way to fight back.
Yeah, I think that may have been really good actually, because I know the basket from where he was, the basket did hook way right.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Yeah.
And Cam keeps it inside as well. He's going to be putting. And
That was very
so
smooth. Where is
Jake's-
Where is
He's
Jake?
about halfway between the holes.
Oh, did he went
Oh.
down to the left
Hole 9 and 10, yeah.
or up to the right?
Not quite able to get through.
Somewhere in the woods, that's for sure.
And Oz with his favorable
Oh,
kick
That was
has a wide open shot. Look at that.
drops it in there for the easy birdie.
Those are the kind of kicks that'll get you in course record
Yeah.
range again. All right, here's Jake now after his third tree trying to save.
I think this will be a 4-4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the par save. Well
That was
done.
a big putt.
Yeah.
He didn't have much room to maneuver in there. Still made it work. Yeah, see, James got up there really close for on that forehand with his third shot. So he's putting for par right now. There it is.
Both of them well done to save that par. And Oz for the birdie.
Mm-hmm. There
we
it
go.
is.
Well done.
Good three. That's you got lucky off the tee, but that's what you need sometimes when you're in the woods.
Erases a couple of those early bogeys, and he's back to 2 down for the round at -10, extending his lead to 6 over Jake Voskamp. That's 9 in the books in the Winding Woods. Thanks for joining us here with Canadian Disc Golf Productions. We have the back 9 coming up next in the Winding Woods again.
And there we have it. Total scores. Oz coming in still -11. Cam slipped a little bit, dropped down to -2. Jake keeping it together at -4, and James also slipping down to even. So a little bit of work to do, but Oz is still catchable.
Thanks again to Covered by Jay and Peace Bridge and Disc Golf Days. We'll catch you on the back 9. I'm Pat McCauley.
And I'm Brownie.